Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the vlog. In this episode, we're going to be talking about reasons why you should take the used car that you're looking at to the mechanic before making a purchase. All right, for those of you that have been following the channel for a little bit, you know that I've bought several used cars. In fact, all of my cars have been used cars. My 2005 Mustang, my 2012 Mustang, my 2015 Mustang, and now my most recent 2015 Mercedes C400. Now, only two of these cars did I actually purchase myself. The other two cars I had help from family members, but the 2015 Mustang and now the 2015 Mercedes-Benz, both were mainly me looking at the cars and figuring out if I wanted to buy them or not. Now, as you may have seen previously, you may know that my 2015 Mustang, shortly after getting it, I realized that the transmission felt a little funny. Well, come to find out, about 9 months later, the transmission needed to be entirely replaced because second gear was, well, do you remember this picture? Yeah, second gear wasn't really liking life anymore. Let's see here. Let's find out what that actually cost. When all was said and done, the cost to repair that transmission came out to be about $5,700. Yikes. Now, for a car that cost me $19,500, this put me into it for about $25,000. Now, that's still about $6,000 less than the $31,000 that it would have cost me had I bought a clean title car. However, it was also $5,700 that I had not planned on spending. Now let's fast forward a little bit. When I bought my Mercedes, I was under the impression that pretty much nothing was wrong with it. There were a few little quirks that we noticed, both on the test drive and a little bit after. For one of the tires was a bit flat. This was kind of odd, didn't think too much of it. Thought maybe, the car's been sitting, it's just lost some pressure, it'll be fine. Fast forward a few weeks and we find out, I've got a cracked rim. Now, that may or may not be something that a mechanic would have checked. After all, both the shop the dealer took it to get new tires put on didn't catch this, and also the shop that I took it to, once I noticed there was an issue with the tire, they didn't catch it either. It wasn't until later when I inspected it that we found out that the rim was actually cracked. Now, let's jump forward a few more weeks to most recently when I took my car to get serviced. One of the things I noticed when I took the car out for a test drive was the brakes felt a little funny. They had like that pulsating feeling. Well, come to find out that after getting serviced, I need new brakes and rotors. Now, thankfully, new brakes and rotors shouldn't run me more than $500 doing it myself. Luckily, I found a place that sells the rotors for about $180 a pop. Front brakes will probably be about $80 a side, I'm figuring, so we should be able to do it for less than $500. However, that is still $500 more than I intended to spend. In addition to the front rotors and brakes needing to be replaced, the rear shocks are also about at end of life. Taking to the shop to have that done would be $754. Now, the shocks I can't complain about as much because that's one of those things where it's just wear and tear, at about 70,000 miles, which is where we're at now. Those different components do start to wear out. However, rotors probably should have been caught. As a grand total then, over the last 2 years buying these different cars, that takes my total of unexpected charges up to about, let's see here, what does that take it to? $7,356. Now that's not including the rim. Now the rim, I did get used, so it didn't cost me as much as it would have, but had I gotten it new from Mercedes, that was another $1,029, I believe it was, which would bring me up to $8,385. And this is one of the issues you wind up with when you buy a used car. You buy it and you kind of treat it like a new car where you expect that nothing's wrong with the vehicle. It doesn't need any immediate repairs, everything should be generally working, but that is certainly not always the case. With that said, let's talk about 4 things that you should do when looking at any used car. Step number 1, research the VIN. This is particularly important if you are looking at a salvaged or rebuilt title car. On cars with rebuilt titles, by searching the VIN, you may find the listing for the car prior to it being repaired. This will allow you to see what damage the car actually had and to know what repairs may have needed to be made. This may also reveal to you damage that the repairer may have simply covered up and not entirely fixed. This can also help you determine if the vehicle has had any frame damage, as the pictures will let you know where the car was hit, how much damage there was, and can help reveal if there was frame damage. While doing a VIN search may not yield much results if you're not looking looking at a rebuild or salvage title car. It can also let you know what recalls are available for that vehicle. When researching a new or used car, it's important to understand what defects the vehicle may have so that you can get them taken care of as quickly as possible. You can also check out the app VIN Wiki and put your VIN in there and see if it yields any results. Some owners may upload different service records to there, they may keep tabs on the car. It's another tool that you can use to do some VIN research. Item number 2, check the CARFAX. Now, one of the things we're looking for when we look at the CARFAX is if the vehicle has been in any accidents and also what its service history is. Now, if you're getting the car from an owner that's done much of the service themselves, these kind of items will not show up on the CARFAX. However, the CARFAX can still be a good way to tell what services have been done, how regularly it's been done, and what condition the engine may be in. Check to see what records they may have as evidence of maintenance history. Knowing that a car has been well maintained and taken care of will help give you confidence that the car will continue to run for a long time. Moving on to item number 3, a mechanic inspection. While many of us may think ourselves adept at looking at cars and picking out things that may be wrong with them, we cannot be as thorough as a mechanic will be in the shop. Taking a car into a mechanic gives them the opportunity to do an inspection on the vehicle, to look it over, to actually raise it up off the ground and really check everything out. This may allow them to find oil leaks that you can't find yourself just looking inside the engine bay, as well as problems that may not be quite as apparent. For example, my broken transmission. Example number 2. So the other night, I'm out at Walmart. I'm coming out and I notice that there's this vehicle that's pulled in and there's steam coming off it. I'm like, wow, that car must be really hot. And you know, it's like 30 degrees out. It's pretty cold. So, you know, maybe there's some water or something. It's steaming. It's whatever. I start walking past it and I think to myself, I'm like, you know, it really shouldn't be steaming that much. And I start to catch a whiff of something. I'm like, something's not right here. Turn around and I look at the car and there's smoke coming out from under the hood and I'm like, oh my gosh, that car's on fire. There's passengers in it and I look at them and I'm like, dude, you're smoking. Now the gentleman, who happened to have a cigarette in his mouth at the time, kind of looks at me, he's like, yeah? And I'm like, no, dude, your car is smoking. And he's like, oh, whoa. So we pop the hood open, look inside, get our flashlights out, you know, on our phones. We're seeing, looking around. There's this big, huge spot of oil right on the top of the engine, just sitting there billowing smoke like crazy. And I'm like, dude, I think you want to get that checked. And he's sitting there looking at that. He's like, yeah, I think we're going to spray some foam on it. And I'm just like, dude, you need to get that fixed. And he tells me that whoever's with him, his girlfriend, wife, whoever she was, is looking at buying the car from a friend soon. And I'm like, you better take that thing in and figure out what's wrong with it first, because I wouldn't be touching that. Good examples of why you should get the car checked by a mechanic before making a purchase. Number 4, if you do not have a mechanic already that you trust that you can take the car to, consider using Blue Star. Blue Star is a service that you can use to get the vehicle inspected if you don't have a mechanic, or as an alternative to using a mechanic. They're a third party that will look at the car and give you an unbiased opinion of the condition of the car. You can check out their website to learn more, but this is a great way that you can get the car inspected to find out what may be wrong with it, what repairs it may need, and just get an idea of the overall condition of the vehicle. Alternatively, you could start your search by looking at cars that have already been inspected by Blue Star, which can help segue us into the bonus point, number 5. While all these points should still be taken into consideration, another avenue would be looking at CPO, or certified pre-owned cars. Many of these vehicles are cars that are now off lease and have been maintained by the dealership for the duration of their life. In these instances, you can have confidence that the car has been well maintained and should be more than likely free of issue. While you will pay more for a certified pre-owned vehicle, it could well be less than the unexpected repair costs that you might be landed with otherwise. However, even with CPO cars, I would still advise that you do some VIN research, still want to see the CARFAX, and if you can, still get the car inspected by a mechanic or by Blue Star, somebody other than the dealership that you can trust to give an unbiased opinion on the condition of the vehicle. Alright guys, and with that, that'll wrap up this video. I hope you found it insightful. If you did, please leave a like, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you know when I've posted new videos. We got more content coming, and I'll see you in the next one.